Uh-huh. So Selena, you said that it's just phrases?
Like, yeah, I think it's like what it comes to my mind. It's this approach or method. Which was this one? I don't remember, but students learn by chunks, like
Okay.
phrases.
Okay. So phrases. Okay, very good. So I have a one word, phrases. Here in the chat, Betty, you mentioned there is a piece. Okay, a piece and phrases. Someone else that would like to share?
I think there is a set of specific words.
Very good. Eugenio, you said a specific word, a set of specific words. Very good, exactly. So basically, why is it a chunk important for the student? Well, basically, first of all, chunks of language, it says that is larger than words but less than sentences. So it's quite a set of words, right? For example, here we have some of them. Excuse me, or so far so good. What on earth? Have a nice day. Be that is as it may. If you ask me, not in your life, or here you are. I don't know if you learned a chunk when you were learning English, or I don't know if some sentences stuck in your brain. Another one, for example, could be good luck. Right? I don't know if some of you learn a chunk. Yes?
Maybe as soon as.
Okay. As soon as, that is another one. Betty just say fine, thank you, and you. Oh yes, that one is very popular, right? When we're learning English. Okay, another one. Karime, been there, done that. Okay, that is another one, very popular. Very good. So now my question is, how did you learn that chunk? Or why it stuck with you?
Teacher, I think another chunk I learned when I was like in elementary, it was may I go to the restroom?
Okay.
I didn't know what may I go mean, but I knew that meant going to the restroom, right? So that's why I learned that.
Very good. So that is another one. Selena, may I go? May I go? Always repetition, right? It stucks with you. And maybe some students, they don't know what is the meaning, as you mentioned, right? You didn't know what it was, may I go, but you inferred that may I go was for permission, and bathroom, the restroom is, well, going to the restroom. So they can infer, right? We're not explaining what is may, what is I, and what is go, right? For example, in Karime's, you said been there, done that. Maybe they didn't explain you what is been there, done that, right? We don't cut the words to explain it. We just teach them, or we just repeat the word like a chunk, like a piece, and we say it to our students so they learn it, right? It's a very implicit way to learn sentences. So basically, the language learning, you know that it involves the grammar, but also items, right? Items, it means, for example, vocabulary, and also phrases and idioms. So one thing that is very interesting when we are basically introducing chunks into the learning process, it's because students, they learn it very fast, and also because we don't spend a lot of time explaining the definition of the single word. Okay, I put the may I go to the restroom as an example. We didn't explain may. We didn't explain the word I go to the restroom. We didn't explain it. Why? Because it's not necessary for the student, right? Why if I explain what is may I go to the restroom in a single word, I'm going to spend a lot of time, and also I'm going to confuse my student. So it's better if you don't confuse your students. So basically, you save that confusion to that student, and that they can develop the real life expressions, right? So may I go to the restroom is very common if we use it for permission, and it's very formal, right? Been there, done that, we use it in this situation. Okay. Hi, I'm fine, and you? We use it for this situation. As you can see, we include the context, we include the situation with those sentences, with those chunks. Okay. So in the theory, it says that, for example, give me the ball, close the door. Have you ever been to, or would you like to? As you can see, we have here some questions. Would you like to? Would you like to? Can I? Can you? It's a chunk, right? And they can use it in a real conversation. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you can connect the chunks with the supportive language, right? I don't know if you are reflecting with this. If we put this explanation into ECRIF, in ECRIF, we include the supportive language. Remember that the supportive language is for the student to talk, to speak. It's a tool for them to communicate easy and to communicate the main idea, that is the grammar structure or the vocabulary words. Mm-hmm. So basically the chunks are very important in our classes, right? Why? Because we don't explain the grammar of this question, for example, but we put a context into that question. What are you going to use would you like to? Because maybe I'm going to ask another classmate if that classmate would like to go to the park or go to the cinema, right? Giving them options. Mm-hmm. Give your students real situations, a context, in order to rely on those sentences. Very good. So, well, as you see, we saw the fossilization and also the chunks, very important topics in order to understand more about the process of the student, in order to know what is happening inside of our classroom. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you have any questions related to these topics, so we can continue to the other slide. Okay. No. Everything okay? Everything clear. All right. So before showing you the other slide, just to wrap up these two topics, I don't know if one of you would like to just say your own opinion about this one. Did it impact these topics to you? Would it be useful for your classes when we come back? So I would like to listen to you, to your some experiences that you encountered about these topics, or it's going to be useful for you in the future, maybe.
I think that some of the mistakes that we have, like we have to make them, something like that, unlearn. Mm-hmm. It is, I don't want to say the teacher's fault, but I mean, there's a problem. If we all have troubles with the same things, mm-hmm. There's a bigger problem than us.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And when it, like,
yes.
corrected.
Mm-hmm. And we need to correct those mistakes that we have.
That's it.
Okay. Uh-huh. And yes, and we need to correct those mistakes. We need to basically know if we're having a hard time when we are unlearn it and then learn it again, right? So we need to be aware of the mistakes that we had in the past, and know that the process is going to be quite long, but it is not impossible, right? We need to have this positive attitude towards a mistake that we had previously, right? Very good. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, let's continue with the other slide, all right? So basically, if you enter to the platform in Aprendo, you're going to have a material to work with, okay? So basically, this one is a PDF document. The topic is choosing grammar to teach, okay? What topics can I choose? basically, what can I include into my lessons when we're teaching grammar? Okay, this is going to be a Word document. It's a reading log, and it needs to contain 10 ideas written by yourself. It doesn't mean that I'm going to copy and paste it and that's it. No, you're going to explain about 10 ideas that you found very interesting from the theory, from the PDF. Okay, so you have the instructions there. The deadline is on May 24th. Okay, so that will be it. So I don't know if you have more questions related to the assignment or the topic. I'm going to read here your opinions in the chat, or if you would like to say it by speaking, go ahead, feel free.
We need to just write down ideas about the PDF, right?
Yes, it's better, Jesus, for example, if you read the document, for example, and if you say, I really like this paragraph, yes, you can copy and paste the paragraph, citing the author, but also adding your own opinion, your personal opinion.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Paulina. Selena, well, if you don't have any more questions, we can finish the session. Okay. Remember that I'm in the WhatsApp group. Remember that you can ask questions there. Feel free. If you have some misunderstandings about the PDF document, go ahead. I'll be available to help you. Right. Thank you so much for coming here to this session. Thank you, Paulina, Ale, Andrea, Betty, Selena, Eugenio, Hassan, Jesus, Karime, Natalia, Leslie. Thank you. And well, we'll see you later, alligator.